What's up, guys? Lewin here at GarageBand and beyond, happily showing you my 4 favorite plugins for mixing the acoustic guitar. Doesn't matter if you're using a pick or finger picking it, if it's a steel string or a nylon string, these 4 plugins are sort of my secret recipe for getting great acoustic guitar tones. Now, I also do have to apologize. I have a cold coming in, so I'm getting a little sniffly and a little cough going on. So sorry if I sniffle or cough or wipe my nose during this video. I'm getting sick. Anyway, let's talk about plugins. No, let's not talk. Let's listen first, okay? So what you're going to hear first is an acoustic guitar, Taylor guitar, finger picking style, recorded with one Avantone CK1 microphone. I got a video on that. Let's listen. Here you go. So it's going to go untreated, and then I'm going to turn on my channel with all my plugins, and you'll definitely hear the difference. Here we go. All right, so you should definitely have been able to hear the difference in those 2 different tracks because it is pretty huge. So let's go down the row really quickly. I'm not really going to try to show you all the nitty gritty details on these plugins. I'm really just trying to put them on your radar. Holidays are coming up here, and maybe you're going to get some money and looking for a cool way to spend it. So here are 4 things I think you should spend your money on, okay? So first one, and you've probably already heard about this. This is the Slate Digital Virtual Channel. There is a review here on my channel, and then there's lots of other very in-depth reviews of this thing. It is awesome. That is my review. It is awesome. You got to get it. No, it's sort of difficult to describe. It's very difficult to verbalize what this particular plugin does to your tones. Besides just saying it just makes it better, and I know that's hard for you guys. And I've done all this research when I was looking into this plugin. I did all this research, and people were like A-Bing it. And it was very difficult to hear it online with someone else's stuff, someone else's recording and someone else's studio. I really, I was skeptical. I got it. Here I am a year later, cannot live without it. Now that I know what it does in my studio, it is invaluable. I cannot recommend this thing enough. And at like $100, this virtual channel thing, it's $99. It's a pretty small investment for what a huge job it does. It's one of those things, like I said, buy it, use it for a while and get used to it. And then one of these days you'll go around and you'll make a whole mix and you'll turn the Steven Slate stuff off and you'll be like, where did all the magic go? Because I just recently did that, and I was like, man, I really got to make another video for these Steven Slate things because they are so freaking good. So that's number 1, first thing in the channel row there. Second one, another Steven Slate product. This is the virtual tape machine. It is what it is. It's very, very good. It is most noticeable on low end, I think, especially on voices, guitars, and kick drums and basses, but voices and guitars I think are where it really shines. I had a project not too long ago for a client, and there was a lot of vocal tracks on it, and so I had the virtual tape machine on all of them, and I went around and I turned it off and just to hear the difference, and it was like night and day, even though it is very tough to accurately describe what this thing does, but it really makes everything better. So check it out. There's lots of other demos, lots of other reviews of it. Do as much research as you can before buying anything. This one's $199, so it's a little bit more of an investment, but again, something I personally just can't mix without it anymore, especially voices. It's phenomenally good on voices and guitars. All right, going down the row here, Scarlet Compressor. Now, unfortunately, this has been discontinued from Focusrite. However, you can still buy the packages on eBay. There's a few people out there who still sell them from somewhere like $40 to $100. I just think this is one of the best, especially if you're a beginner with compressors, just because you can really, really hear this one. If you're over compressing it, your signal, it's extremely noticeable, and there's just no way you won't hear it. And that's what I think is great about this particular compressor. It's easy to over compress on lots of compressors, but you don't always hear it as well as you do here. So it's, that's a nice feature. The other fact that you can compress on the way in is huge, right? So this has a switch where you can tell it that you want to compress the input signal. And then later when you're mixing, you can switch it back over to output. But the fact that you can do it on the way in is huge. So definitely check out the Focusrite compressor. And the cool thing about the Scarlet suite is that it comes with the compressor, a noise gate, an EQ, and a reverb. So you actually get 4 plugins for $100 or $40, depending on which one you might find on eBay. There is also a new plugin suite. I think it's called the Midnight Suite from Focusrite. And, Focusrite is just one of those companies you can trust that anything they make is probably going to be really cool. But anyway, this Scarlet compressor, I totally love it. And if you can get one, get it. Last thing. Now, this is from PSP, a lesser known company that I really, really love. This is one of the plugins that I use all the time. This one and their Vintage Warmer, I think, is mind-blowingly good. I use it on a lot of stuff. But anyway, this PSP EQ is multi-functioning, right? So it's got a low pass filter and a high pass filter. That's huge. And it has this huge EQ, right? So the thing about EQs, and there's all these different ones out there on the market, but very few of them that I have found, not very few, but it's harder to find the ones that are musical. A lot of them do what they say they do. They affect the frequencies that they are designed to affect, but they don't do it in a musical way. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but basically some EQs sound good and some don't, and this is one that sounds good and does more than one thing. It's not just an EQ. It has the low pass filter and the high pass filter, and if you're using GarageBand, that's huge because you only have these 4 slots to deal with. So it's nice to get 2 extra features out of one of those slots. And this is, a $99 plugin from PSP. And again, of course, there's going to be links for everything down below here. But yeah, check this one out. I really, really love it. Oh, and the other thing about the PSP too is that it has great presets. It has a couple right here, like the guitar ones, they're awesome. Rhythm Guitar 1 is sort of like a really low end, heavy, beefy guitar tone. Like if it's just solo guitar or something, it would be great for that. And then Rhythm Guitar 2 is more like bright and for someone who's strumming a lot, which would be great in a huge band mix, like drums and bass and all that kind of stuff. The nice thing about their plugins, I will say though, even though you might, you'll go to that plugin and be like, yeah, it's pretty good. It'll need a little bit of attenuation, but that's what's nice about it. It's most of the work has already been done for you. You just have to do a little bit of tweaking here and there. And I think that's also one of those places where PSP really stands out from other companies. Just that their plugins or their presets rather, are very useful, and you just have to tweak them a little bit to make them just right. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Again, I wasn't trying to give you like nitty gritty details, just trying to put these on your radar. So when you're looking around and shopping for stuff, these are things I highly recommend for recording acoustic guitars. All right. So don't forget, I do mix for you guys. If you're interested in having me mix one of your GarageBand projects, feel free to contact me. Go to garagebandandbeyond.com, look for the mixing inquiries page. And then, subscribe to my channel. Join us on the Facebook page. We're talking over there all the time. I love you guys. Your continued support is the best. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.